Good evening, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a subject to you that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and that is duality. What is duality? This is actually one of the more complicated ideas that I've covered in pretty much any of my videos. I think that duality is one of those especially difficult ideas for a lot of people to wrap their heads around. It's easier, I think, for most people to view things in terms of symbols and simplicity. I've covered this recently in one of my videos, but anyway, duality is a condition where you might be conflicted, you might have ambivalence, if you've heard that word. It's when you're pulled in multiple directions or being motivated or influenced by multiple powerful feelings or significant feelings. They don't have to necessarily be powerful, but duality is common. It's very rare, if you look at things honestly, that people are motivated by just one thing and one thing alone. With any decision or behavior, there's usually multiple factors involved and reasons for it. Duality is the word I like to use to describe that. So anyway, I'm going to use an example. Consider that a lot of young women like to photograph themselves and their friends, and I made a video earlier today, this morning, about something similar to this regarding a line that is frequently crossed by people in media and just photography in general, taking pictures where they seem to be drawn towards the slut factor. I hate to use the word, but that's kind of where it goes sometimes. And I think the point of that video was I believe that there's some confusion. And I talked to some people today, and it turned out they believed, or the one person believed, that it was largely a financial phenomenon where incentives, and I understand that. I don't really need to explain it because you probably know exactly what that means, where people might benefit from the slut factor, or crossing that line where it's no longer about being yourself, but trying to produce an effect in other people. But I want to highlight something in connection with duality, like I mentioned. So consider that even for videos and photos where a person might be tempted to not be themselves, like I said, for financial reasons or in other incentives, or just to get views or likes or subscriptions or whatever, because obviously those are powerful incentives, and I'm not disputing that. What I am saying is that it's not that simple. That's not the only reason people do things, for attention and likes and subscriptions and money. Okay, there's a genuine, legitimate, healthy need for expression among every human being, to connect and to experience shared things with other people, to what's the word? Human contact. So especially when it's in short supply, with people who are dependent on others. For example, young people who, for lack of a better way to say it, are more or less imprisoned in their home with a lot of rules and regulations. Especially, you find these people tend to reach out to find human contact, or to search for it. And I believe that some of this is legitimate. And my point is that I think that a lot of this is normal, it's healthy, and it's completely fine, unless it becomes unhealthy. And it's common, unfortunately, for people to minimize it, to oversimplify it, and explain it away with, oh, well, the attention it's just about the attention, or it's just about the money. Well, which is it? Hold on a second. It can't just be about the attention and just about the money. It's okay. Already you've contradicted yourself. I'm going to suggest that it's usually and mostly about something else completely, not those things. It starts out in a very innocent and healthy way, and then sometimes third parties step in and start influencing, and that's a whole different subject. But what I'm talking about is the normal, healthy behavior of any person, but especially a young person, where they choose to, at some point, become more visible. And there's a line, obviously, where it becomes a form of exhibitionism, or the things that I talked about in my other video. But they they aren't always aware of that line, and that was the substance of my other video. So anyway, to wrap up, the line is not always clear to these people, and regardless, my point is that they should know where the line is, even if they're making a decision based on financial reasons or other incentives. They shouldn't be unaware what is attractive. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense. This video could have been probably more concise, over 5.5 minutes. So if you have questions, I might make another one to clarify this. Probably not, but we'll see. whiteheartrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.